YouTube? This is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we've got your Week 4 waiver wire video. Yes, it is a little early, but I wanted to talk some players that you should be going after for your week because, again, there have been some great plays, unfortunately some injuries, and then some players that are really starting to stand out that you should be grabbing and rostering for you guys. Now, we have 2 Monday night games, so of course there are going to be some added players potentially depending on how the Monday night games play, but these players are absolute must grabs for your roster, especially with some matchups and, again, injuries. If you guys have not already, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We're getting closer and closer to that 1,000 subscriber mark. Once we get there, we'll be running a jersey giveaway. So, again, make sure you guys are subscribed. We're going to jump right into this. Now, I'm going to talk quarterbacks. I have 3 quarterbacks here. The first one is Jordan Love. He's available still in 31% of most leagues. He is going against the Lions this week. And yes, I still have Love as my top quarterback. You should be rostering. And I don't understand. 3 weeks in a row, he has scored 23 points or more in fantasy. He had a tough Saints defense, and he still performed very well. He had his first interception, but with that, he still threw 259 yards, a passing touchdown, 39 yards on the ground, and a rushing touchdown, and putting him in, again, very, very great performance. He has had 2 solid weeks ahead of him. Realistically, he's got the Lions and the Raiders before his bye week, and even a good game after that. So why is he not rostered yet? 31% of people are still not believing in what Jordan Love has been able to do. I am putting him on my roster if I can. In my league, we do not play around. He's been rostered since week 1. So, but he can. If he's available, you're grabbing him for sure. Now, another quarterback I'm going to mention is CJ Stroud. He's available in 80% of most leagues. He's going against the Steelers this week, which is a tough matchup. Stroud has been great this year despite the Texans' record. He's got 0 interceptions so far. And for 2 weeks straight, he's with 280 yards or more in passing and 4 touchdowns the last 2 games. Now, he has played 2 poor defenses, so that has helped his numbers. Now, when he plays a tougher Steelers defense like this week, that might be a little different, but I do believe he should be rostered in leagues, especially deep, and realistically, anybody who's playing super flex or 2 QB, he should absolutely be on a roster. I believed in this kid. If you guys watched any of my Dynasty content, I talked him up, and I think he's going to be the best rookie in this class. I know there hasn't been a lot, with Bryce Young with his injury, but I love Stroud. I think he's going to be amazing. He should be on someone's roster right now. Now, the last quarterback is going to be Brock Purdy. He's available in 30% of most leagues. He's going against the Cardinals. Purdy has been a very good quarterback this year, but nothing spectacular, but he's been very solid. With that said, he should be rostered. He has yet to throw an interception this season. He's put up 21 points last week, and now has a Cardinals defense that should allow him to put very similar performance of 20 points or more. And that 21 points last week was without Ayuk. Now, I know it was against the Giants, who have a really bad defense, but still, 21 points, no Brandon Ayuk. He obviously took advantage with having Deebo Samuel, again, CMC back there, George Kittle. He's got weapons where Purdy should be at a 99% rostered on most leagues. But again, if he's available, he's somebody I'm picking up if I can. Now, the only running back I'm going to mention this week is Achane. He's available in 59% of most leagues. He's going against the Bills. He is the absolute #1 waiver wire. If you've got a fab league, you should be spending a good portion of your fab to get him. I have him in plenty of my dynasty because I believed what he was going to do for this team. And of course, some of my redrafts, I'm sure like a lot of you guys had him rostered and then dropped him last week or even this week and probably regret it. If you can, grab Achane. He is not the RB1, okay? He put up monster numbers, and that was still being featured as the RB2 for this Dolphins. Achane has elite speed and put up 203 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns, 4 receptions with a touchdown in the air as well. Broncos defense did not show up well at all, and the Dolphins obviously feasted. So don't expect these kind of numbers again, but I do expect what he was able to perform and do is going to gain traction and allow him to actually start to become a very solid, viable every single week type of play. Achane is definitely going to get more touches. He still had Mostert, who did a phenomenal game. I'm sure if you guys had him, he put up points. And Jeff Wilson should be coming back. So I am interested in how this plays out for the Dolphins. But Achane is slowly creeping up where he could be maybe the 60 touch guy, and everyone else gets 40. We'll see. Now, as far as wide receivers, I've got Adam Thielen as a great pickup. He's available in 53% of most leagues. He's going against the Vikings this week, which is a nice little matchup for him. going against his old team. Thielen has performed very well the last 2 weeks, seeing 23 targets in 2 weeks. He had 31 points this past Sunday with a stat line of 11 receptions, 145 yards and a touchdown. This is the veteran the Panthers were expecting to have when they signed him. Bryce Young didn't play and could miss another game. We'll see how that goes. But I actually still think this allowed Andy Dalton to thrive well, because I think Andy Dalton really should have been the starter this year and let Bryce really develop. Obviously, they threw him in, and I get it, but Dalton took advantage of that and really used Thielen as a number one option. And I think Thielen wants to show up really well against the Minnesota Vikings, who had let him go. So I like him a lot as a pickup. Another receiver is Tank Dell versus the Steelers this week. He's available in 69% of most leagues. Tank has scored 20 points or more in the last 2 weeks, becoming a great wide receiver to our flex play. He was wanted by Stroud when Stroud got drafted, and the Texans did him a favor and drafted Tank Dell as well, and it's showing why. Dell had 5 receptions this past weekend with 145 yards and a touchdown. He's explosive. Yes, he's on the smaller side, but he's explosive. He had 17 targets in the last 2 games and should continue to see 7 to 8 targets, even with Nico Collins doing well. Now, Nico got pushed in this back burner, but I still think Nico's still valuable, because realistically, the Texans are being forced to play catch up. Stroud has been amazing, so I think both those players are great. Tank should be on a roster. Now, the last player I'm going to mention in waivers, I don't have a tight end this week. I mean, you could possibly do Ferguson, or, there's a couple different tight ends, but I'm not going crazy with that. They're not waivers you should be wasting. Now, Josh Palmer is a wide receiver I'm going after. He's available in 98% of most leagues, going against the Las Vegas Raiders. Bad news for Mike Williams, who is expected to miss the season with a knee injury, which now puts Josh Palmer as the wide receiver 2 spot. I know a lot of people are probably going to go after Quentin Johnston because they drafted him high, but they already said Palmer was ahead of him in the roster anyways. Now Quentin Johnston should be considered if you're in a deeper league. His value is now going to go up because he's becoming the wide receiver 3. I think Palmer does move into the slot in between. But he performed really well this past Sunday. He had 15 points. He had 66 yards and a touchdown. Palmer is definitely somebody you should be considering grabbing for your roster, again, depending on where you're at. So those are my week 4 must grabs for your waivers. If you guys have questions on who you should grab or maybe possibly drop for them, or if you have trade questions, a lot of people can start doing talks about trades, and I will have a video out this week of some sell highs and buy lows. But hit us up in the comments. That's what we're here for. If you guys, again, have not already and you guys enjoy the content, make sure you guys are subscribed and the notification bell is on. It is greatly appreciated for those subscriptions. You guys have been an amazing community. Also, don't forget to hit the like button. It's greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. We'll be doing our start-sit videos as well, dropping the quarterback through tight end. If you guys have questions for anything fantasy related, hit us up down in the comments, and I'll check you guys out next time.